Moi je veux un amour écrit en majuscule. Moi je veux une histoire pour une vie. Ce n'est pas ça qui me fait décrocher les ailes. Un jeu pour une nuit. Non, ce n'est pas ça. Je veux l'amour, l'amour comme il était une fois. Sublime sentiment, c'est ça que je veux de toi. Pas pour moi les extravagances, des parties de certaines vacances, des folies qu'on regrettera d'avoir fait dans la vie. Pas pour moi, je suis méfiante de ceux qui ont des expériences. Non merci, tout cela n'est vraiment pas fait pour moi. Moi je veux un amour écrit en majuscule. Moi je veux une histoire pour une vie. Ce n'est pas ça qui me fait décrocher les ailes. Un jeu pour une nuit. Non, ce n'est pas ça. Je veux l'amour, l'amour comme il était une fois. Sublime sentiment, c'est ça que je veux de toi. Je veux l'amour, l'amour comme il était une fois. Sublime sentiment, c'est ça que je veux de toi. Pas pour moi, ce n'est pas ça.
I hope you're ready, all of you out there, for the exciting voting that we're gonna have for 1988. I'll start off by telling you that we have reason to, I guess, celebrate. I brought out carrots because, or well, one carrot because it's getting late, but a bit of celebratory mood. So I'll eat some carrots. I'll tell you why in just 1 second. I will actually show you. Let's see. I don't need to show the chat, but there we are, I think, right? There. 142 voters. We have a new record. 143 even. We have a new amount of voters that have like it's a new record in the amount of voters. 143. Oh, Kevin, you guessed 143 before you were shown it. Wow. That is a skill in its own. That's a skill on its own. Well done, Kevin. 143 is indeed the amount we have. 144 now. So, um, ow, there came in at the end. But yeah, please, before we get any closer to actually starting the voting, please let me know if you know already for a fact that you've accidentally voted twice. Please just let me know so we can fix that already, because I don't want to have to go back and remove voters. I don't want anyone who has accidentally put in the running order. Please let me know ASAP. Are some people voting without watching? I'm not sure, because obviously we've had like the max amount of viewers we've had at once during the stream was probably around 130, but obviously like someone could come in at the stream for like the first 5 songs and then they have to leave, and then another person comes in. Like in total, I don't know how many people have actually showed up during the stream, but I would prefer if everyone who votes has been a part of the stream. Of course, there's no way for me to double check that, but still. Anton, someone mentioned voting twice. Did they really? Do we have to just keep... I can't keep track of 144 different names though. 146 now. Yeah. I'm not so sure. I guess we'll just have to go back in case. Kat said he voted twice and first doesn't have name or country. It doesn't have a name. But you can't vote without a name. All I see are names. There's a K, but I think we have someone who usually is just named K, don't we? I can't see. I can't see either of Cat's. Wait. Oh wait. Oh yeah, we have Toipa Cat, Grumpy Xer Cat. Okay. I think Cat has only voted once then. I'm not sure. What happened to your Twitter account? I took that down. People were trying to hack me all the time because I share my when I started uploading everything to Google Drive, when all my reviews got blocked on YouTube. Everyone started, or not everyone, but people started to try and hack all of my accounts, so I took down pretty much everything. I never used Twitter anyway, so live streams are a revolving door of viewers, but I think once it's uploaded, it shows the amount of. Yeah, that's correct. I have no idea. With so many voters, this will last until 2 a.m. like Sanremo. You know it. You know it. All right. Alipan says, "Don't forget to like the stream." I'll sign under that. That would be lovely if you do. 148. We gotta just put our foot down there. 148. That's good. Preview your scoreboard. Are you ready? Are you all ready to get through 148 voters? It's gonna take forever, but I hope you're stocked up. You're ready to get through this voting session. Before I hit play, I want some predictions. The top three. Predict what you think will finish in the top three. Share that in the chat now, and I will press play. Should I also predict what I think the top three will be? Nah. Okay, I'm gonna do it anyway. I think Switzerland, Luxembourg, and possibly Israel. Switzerland, Luxembourg, Israel, in that order. That's my prediction. Let's see how wrong I am. Let's go. Taya, first voter out of 148. And here we go. First points coming in. 8 points to Yugoslavia, 10 points to Luxembourg, and our first 12-pointer goes to Turkey. Sufi up in the lead for the start. I think MFO would celebrate that quite heavily. Sanomi Sespava is our next voter. Luxembourg and Turkey in a tied lead at the moment. A lot of people predicting both Switzerland and Luxembourg at the top, and then we have some different options for the rest. Sweden gets a 12, and they're up on the scoreboard. I think Sweden's either going to get 12s or 0s from many people. I think that's going to be a recurring theme going on today. More and more songs have started getting points. Austria got a point there. They're first from Adrian. He gives 10 points to Israel and the 12 to Sweden again. I'm telling you, Sweden's either getting 12 or 0. I already think that's going to be the case throughout this voting. Ivanik, next up. Italy and Germany getting some points there, so we only have 3 songs left on 0. Yeah, still. Iceland gets the 8. Finland gets the 10. And the 12 goes to Turkey, who are up in the lead. MFO with a surprise early lead on the scoreboard, has to be said. I did not expect them to be at the top, but we're only on voter number 5, of course. Crimson is our next voter. Luxembourg gets the 8. Turkey gets the 10, so Turkey is it's gonna stay up there. And Belgium gets a 12 after being on 0, so only Spain yet to receive a point. And James is our next voter. And Italy gets some points there to go ahead of Greece and France and a bunch of others, actually. United Kingdom doing very poorly so far. Israel gets the 10, and the 12 goes to Switzerland, who moves up into 3rd there. We got a battle on our hands so far, but we're only on voter number 7, of course. Spain got their first points there, so now Greece takes over the last place. Netherlands gets 8, Denmark gets 10, and the 12 goes to Israel, who moves up into 2nd. Groot, is Stadius the unofficial anthem of Sweden? You could say that, for sure, Andy. It's definitely something like that. I have no idea, is our next voter. UK moves up to the top half. Switzerland gets 8, Sweden gets a 10 there, and the 12 goes to Yugoslavia. So now Luxembourg and Turkey are tied for the lead, with Israel only 1 point behind. As Canary Simru comes in. More points for Austria. Luxembourg moves up into the lead. Sweden up on 51. And the 12 to Spain. Spain moves very far up there. Genghis Khan, voter number 10. Those are the first points there. It's a very close battle for the lead, which I really enjoy at the moment. I hope that we're going to have that be continuous throughout. Genghis Khan gives 12 points to Greece. Ha 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 ha. Moves up into the kind of top shift of the right side of the scoreboard. But if anything gets points on the right side, they're moving quite a lot, it seems. Yanis is our next voter. 8 points to Sweden there. A 10 for the United Kingdom. And the 12 goes to Norway. Luxembourg and Turkey getting nothing there, even though they're still up in the top 5. Eswatini. Well, this is an exotic voter. Let's see where these points land. A lot of songs at the top, not getting anything. Greece gets a massive 8. 10 points to Luxembourg, and the 12 goes to France. That came out of nowhere, and France moves a bit up on the right side. Addy Star, next up. These are the first points. And we get an 8 for Switzerland, who moves up into second. 10 points to Luxembourg, and the 12 goes to Norway. So Luxembourg is putting some distance down to Switzerland now in the battle for the lead. Israel and Turkey and Sweden are still very much in that as well. Netherlands and Norway not too far behind. Kevin from Canada is our next voter. Turkey gets a big 8 there. A 10 for the Netherlands. And the 12 goes to Switzerland, who moves closer to Luxembourg. Carl Espen has apparently moved to Burundi. Hope you're enjoying your time down there. We get 8 points for Netherlands, 10 for Switzerland, who is now only 1 point behind Luxembourg, and the 12 goes to Israel. I did predict that very top 3 that we have at the moment. Let's hope it's a close battle. Styro from Moldova, our next voter. Portugal has gotten nothing but 5s. Is that really true? It's kind of funny. Israel gets a 10 and the 12 to Switzerland, who is now up in the lead for the first time, I think. I don't think it has been until now. But now it's up there, and the first song to crack into the hundreds. Hugo is next up. And we see the Swedish flag. Can we get some points for Stadius, perhaps? 10 points to the UK there, and the 12 indeed to Sweden, who closes up on the top songs there. 82 points for Sweden at the moment, as Minne is our next voter. And Switzerland and Luxembourg getting points, both of them, at the top. Israel gets 8. A 10 to France, which moves it up into the top half. And the 12 goes to Turkey, who is now back up into third. Sufi is doing very well. Happy to see that for MFÖ. I think Didai came 7th, I'm pretty sure, in our 85 watch-along. Amrod Kulnamo gives 8 points to France, a 10 to Luxembourg. So there's a tie for the lead, up until the point where Switzerland got the 12. Next up, Yuki Ayu from the Philippines. Some points there, some of them on the right side, most of them on the left, I guess. An 8 to Iceland. A 10 to Ireland. Never mind what I said about the left side. A lot of points on the right side here, but Switzerland gets the 12, and Switzerland is starting to pull away a little bit. However, we still have 128 voters to go. Swedish flag. Let's see if Stadius will get some points. Gets 8. 8 points. 10 points to Turkey there. And the 12 goes to Switzerland again. Are we in for another landslide? We might actually be. I think we're definitely going to crack the 1,000 points today. Maybe even 2 songs can crack it because we have so many voters. We'll see. But Switzerland are looking very good at the moment. Liz from Turkey gives 10 points to Netherlands, and something at the top's getting blanked. Israel gets 12, so both Switzerland and Luxembourg get nothing there. And Israel is now up into second. Taylor from the UK is our next voter. Iceland moves up to the top half there. Yugoslavia gets 8. 10 points to Switzerland. and the 12 goes to Turkey. We have a very distinct top 4 at the moment, but Switzerland is very much pulling away from the rest there. Hungarian jury. A lot of points on the left side. Denmark takes back its spot on the left side of the scoreboard. Sweden gets an 8 to break into the hundreds. Finland gets 10. And the 12 again to Switzerland. 2,000 points winner, says Alipan. It might happen at this rate because it's pulling away by a pretty big margin already. Voter number 25, Luis Lopez. 8 points to Luxembourg, a 10 for Sweden, and the 12 to Switzerland again. Switzerland's just racking up the points now. As Pyri comes in next. And these are the first points there. Italy and Austria are very much on their own at the very bottom. Switzerland gets 8 more, 10 to United Kingdom, and the 12 goes to Luxembourg, who is, well, tagging along up there, leaving the rest behind a little bit. Rose from Latvia, voter number 27. And we get an 8 to the United Kingdom, who is now in the hundreds as well. 10 points to Norway. And the 12 goes to Netherlands there, who closes in on Turkey and Sweden, and Israel for that matter. Hate, war, war. Well, we can all sign under on that one, I think. Netherlands moves ahead of Sweden there. Luxembourg gets the 8. 10 to Israel. Is Switzerland getting the 12? It is indeed. 50 points ahead after only 28 voters. Next up, Alumo from the Seychelles. Italy getting some points there, but it's very much on its own still. Netherlands moves up into 4th. Spain gets some points there to move it up a little bit. Switzerland gets a 10. And the 12 goes to Yugoslavia, who moves ahead of Norway there for what must be 8th place, I think. I think Finland is currently the one in 10th, and that one has a pretty big gap up to the top 9. I'll say. HRL from Israel. Portugal didn't get a 5 this time, so that streak is broken. Switzerland gets 10, and the 12 goes to Finland. Very interesting. Finland moves ahead of the rest there a little bit, very much just confirming its place in 10th. Next up, Sasha from Germany. 8 points to Yugoslavia, who's now in the hundreds. A 10 to Denmark, and the 12 goes to Turkey. So Luxembourg not getting anything there, and Luxembourg is the one that has the biggest chance of actually challenging Switzerland at the moment. We still have a lot of people to go. Let's hope things can get a bit closer soon. Tommy from Norway gives 8 points to Finland, who is starting to catch up quite a lot actually. Norway gets the 10, and the 12 goes to Luxembourg. And next up is Toipa Cat from Denmark. I don't know what the accent that was, I'm sorry. First points there. Portugal gets some big ones. Belgium and Greece, all of those are tied on 41 points now. 10 points to Luxembourg, and the 12 to Sweden, who is now only 1 point behind Turkey in 5th. Have a little bit of a battle for 4th going on there between Netherlands, Turkey, and Sweden, as Alexander is our next voter. It doesn't look like it's going to be close. No, it doesn't, but we're still only on voter number 34. But Switzerland gets another 10 there, and the 12 goes to Sweden. So Luxembourg got nothing this time either. Sweden, Turkey, and Netherlands really actually caught up with Israel as well. Israel only 1 point ahead of Sweden now. Sweden moves up into 3rd there. No, Turkey does. Sorry, I missed that. As Empo votes, 8 points to Switzerland, 10 to Israel, who's back up into 3rd, and the 12 goes to Belgium. Nice to see Belgium getting some love there. Aya Nation from America. Iceland moves out of Belgium there. 8 points to Sweden, who's back up into 4th. A 10 to Spain. That puts it very far up compared to where it was. And the 12 to Switzerland, who is currently leading by 71 points. As Ricardo from Portugal is voter number 37. Denmark and Finland currently on a tie for 10th, which is something. Luxembourg gets 8, 10 to Norway. Do we have another 12 for Switzerland? We do indeed. We do indeed. Next up, Tom G. the Bee. Oh, wonderful name. Some points to the right side of the scoreboard there. Greece moves ahead of Portugal. Netherlands moves ahead of Turkey there in the battle for 5th. Switzerland gets 10 and the 12 to the UK, who closes up a little bit. Well, it's not that close. it's very much on its own. It's 7th. Just Achilles from Venezuela. Austria still on 10 points, I've noticed. It's been on 10 points for like 30 voters now. 8 points to Switzerland, 10 to the UK, and the 12 goes to Luxembourg. So Luxembourg, 81 points behind the top, as Salem from Slovenia is next up. Only 2 points for Switzerland there. This is a chance for Luxembourg to catch up a little bit. Netherlands gets 8, Norway gets 10, and the 12 to Luxembourg indeed. So it's closing up a little bit. Nisbet from Scotland, next up. We get 8 points to Luxembourg, 10 points to Yugoslavia, and the 12 to Israel. So Switzerland got nothing there. It's starting to lose its lead just a little bit. It's still very much ahead, but things can change. Duncan from Vietnam is next up. 5 points to Luxembourg there. Switzerland gets 8 though. 10 to Turkey. And the 12 goes to Netherlands. Like, if we didn't have Switzerland and Luxembourg, this would be such a close voting. There's a massive battle for the rest here. All the way from, like, Norway up to Israel, it's pretty close. And that's a lot of positions. Like, that's a lot of countries in there. Groot's grandma. Oh, let's see what you vote for this time. Luxembourg 10. The 12 to Switzerland. That does not represent my grandmother at all, because she would absolutely give 12 points to Sweden. There's no doubt about it. Pourquoi vous voyez? I'm terribly sorry about that. Let's see where these points go. 8 points to Sweden, 10 to Turkey, and the 12 goes to Israel. So nothing for Luxembourg there. Yeah, if we need, if we're in for a close battle, we need Luxembourg to start racking up some points. Pepper from America. 8 points to Turkey, 10 points to Israel, and the 12 goes to Luxembourg. And here are Portuguese's first points. And the 12 to Luxembourg. Who the hell is Chris ST? When did you change nationality from Czech? I recognize Chris ST always has the Czech flag. Apparently not today though. 10 points to Switzerland, and the 12 goes to Luxembourg. Luxembourg has definitely caught up a little bit. It was 81 points behind before, and now it's only 55. So make of that what you will. As Joni gives his or her points here. Finland breaks into the hundreds. 10 points to Switzerland, and the 12 goes to Spain. It's closing in on the 100 as well. Alexander says, damn, Austria has been stuck on 10 points for ages. Yeah, like, I thought, like, after 5 voters, it was on 10 points, I think. It's been stuck ever since then. As Jeffrey votes from the Netherlands here. Netherlands gets 8. 10 to Switzerland. And the 12 goes to Israel. Groot, what do you think about United humbling Liverpool and returning to the UCL for the next season? I mean, that's the least you should expect supporting Manchester United. Liverpool have had a shocker of a season, so you shouldn't take too much pride in that. It's what everyone expected you to do. But still, congratulations, I guess. Vilma gives 12 points to Switzerland, who moves further ahead at the top. Mart, our next voter. Belgium moves ahead of France there. That's something's going on. Ireland gets an 8, 10 points to the UK, who is now ahead of Sweden actually in the battle for 6th. UK has slowly caught up a little bit, and Turkey gets the 12 to cement themselves in 5th. Epsilon from France, some points for Portugal and Greece down there at the bottom. And 8 more points for Switzerland, who is now again, 83 points ahead. 10 points to Israel, and the 12 goes to Sweden, who moves back ahead of the UK. Aren't Arsenal going to win the season? No, they started losing games, so they've already lost the season. A name. Is this you, Cat? Because you said you messed up your first votes. Sweden gets 10, and the 12 to Switzerland, who is now 95 points ahead. 95. Eric from Brazil. Sweden moves out of Turkey again there. There's a constant shift there in the middle. 10 points to Switzerland, and the 12 to Luxembourg. Route to Prem has got a big 7 now with Newcastle. The top 4 is basically like a trophy these days, just like Wenger used to say. Yeah, but when teams like Chelsea, Tottenham, and Liverpool have shockers of a season, then top 4 is expected. Switzerland gets 10 here from Kaiser, and 12 goes to Sweden, who is still in 5th. Coriander, next up. Ireland gets into the hundreds now, up into 12th place. 8 points to Switzerland, 10 to Netherlands, and the 12 goes to Israel. My prediction for the top 3 looks to really come into fruition at the moment. It's even in the correct order that I predicted it. Anton Schüssler from Denmark gives 8 points to Israel, a 10 for Norway, and the 12 to Switzerland, who is now 109 points ahead of Luxembourg. 109. I don't think we've ever had such a landslide before. The thing is that Switzerland isn't getting only 12s or so, but it's getting points from everyone, and that's what really makes it just run away with it. See, another 12 here from Liechtenstein. But yeah, if you get points from everyone, then you're gonna run away with it. That's what we noticed also on the last stream, 87. Gente di Mare from Italy got points from got big points from a lot of people, but then also got blanked by a lot of people, so it didn't challenge really. C Western gives 12 points to Sweden, nothing for Switzerland there. Also noticed Italy moved ahead of Greece in the battle for 19th. Missy Lissy from Hungary puts Spain into the hundreds and Ireland up onto the top half. 8 points for Israel, a 10 for Luxembourg, and the 12 for Netherlands, who moves up into 4th again. Can only find the final rankings on the Guru Division wiki page, but not the actual scoreboards. Do you want to have access to the scoreboards, because they've obviously been changed now since people have submitted votes after we've done the streams, so it's not accurate anymore. 12 points to the UK from Annie N there, and UK moves a bit closer to Turkey. Turkey has actually fallen behind now from Netherlands, Sweden, and Israel, but that can change, of course. We're on voter number 62, and it's future representative of Armenia, Aram MP3, who likes Luxembourg, but likes Switzerland just a little bit more, as seemed to be the case with most voters today. Why has Austria 10 points? Because it got 10 points from the first few voters. Siberian Eurofan. Oh, Italy made big moves by only getting 2 points. Turkey gets a 10 there to move ahead of the UK. And the 12 goes to Israel. So nothing for Luxembourg there. I have a hard time really trying to be excited about this when it's looking the way it is at the scoreboard. But I guess we can focus on who will finish 3rd or something. Your resident duchy gives 12 more points for Switzerland. Good evening. I am late. Yes, you are, Santi, but you'll be happy to see that your favorite song from 1988 is absolutely landsliding the vote. So enjoy that. 8 points to Netherlands from Biz. 10 points to Denmark, who is very much on their own in 10th, and the 12 again to Switzerland, who is 132 points ahead of everything else. Luxembourg could get 11 12s, and Switzerland gets nothing, and then at that point they will be tied. So you can just tell that it's going to take a miracle to catch now. K gives another 12 to Switzerland. Almost feels like it's automatically been inserted for every voter to just give 12 points to Switzerland. Austria going for the record of the least points. Yeah, that will probably be the case, and Switzerland will get the record for most points, I think. But yeah, you're probably right, Michael. It's not looking good for Austria, especially considering we have so many voters. Luxembourg got a 12 there, while Switzerland got nothing, but it's not making too much difference yet, at least, as Sebastian is our next voter. Finland moves up into the top half again. 8 points to the Netherlands, a 10 for Israel, and a 12 to... Surprise, surprise! It's actually going to be quite fascinating to see how many points Switzerland is actually going to obtain. Are we just a stream of Celine worshippers at this point? Seems like it. Poor Change. Yeah, I'll leave the French titles for someone else. 10 points to the UK and 12 points to Luxembourg, who is now into the 400s. Your top three is Switzerland, Luxembourg, Spain is a random one to have there, Santi. It wasn't well. I mean, it got 112 at some point in this voting session. Other than that, it's not too hyped up. EDC gives 12 points to Luxembourg, which doesn't make that much difference, of course. Celine Dion is absolutely eating all the 12s. Yep, definitely. Lovebug 12 points. What is that? Absolute shambles. 10 points to the UK and a 12 to Switzerland. Who's next? Voter number 72. We're almost halfway through. Andrew B. Portugal moves out of Italy there with that 7. We got an 8 for Netherlands. We have a 10 for Spain. And the 12 goes to Switzerland again. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my. Sami XX from Spain. Some points there. Switzerland getting 6. Austria actually got 4 points. Austria finally got points again. After like 70 sets of voters, Austria finally got some points again. 12 points to Israel there. Closing in on the 400s for Israel. Zohar from Bosnia and Herzegovina. First time I see this person around, I think. But you're very welcome to be here. I'm very happy to have you here. 10 points to Netherlands, and the 12 goes to Switzerland again. All right, we're halfway through. It's a long voting session, I know, but we'll just take a quick look. Austria is looking like it's going to be the lowest scoring entry of our voting sessions so far. Greece, Germany, Italy, Iceland, Portugal, and France. Those are the songs yet to score up to the hundreds. But it's very close between like France, Portugal, Iceland there. Italy's in that as well. Belgium on 102 at the moment in 14th. Spain in 13th on 116. Then we have the ding-dong battle between Finland and Ireland for getting on the left side of the scoreboard, basically, in 11th. Denmark, very much on their own in 10th on 198. Yugoslavia is currently in 8th, no, in 9th, sorry, 222, but very close to Norway in 8th, who are on 231. Then we have the battle Turkey, UK, Sweden. Netherlands has actually pulled away a little bit there, but Netherlands currently in 4th and Sweden in 5th, UK 6th and Turkey 7th. Of course, Turkey finished, like MFÖ finished 7th in 85 as well, so maybe it's going to be twice. Of course, Vind finished 8th twice, I think, so might happen to Turkey here as well. Israel in 3rd, 402, 30 points behind Luxembourg. They're actually not that far off. And then Switzerland is 151 points ahead. Finjävel, okay. Interesting name. 12 more points to Switzerland, though. Zoar from Space, second time voting actually, but been following you for a couple of years. Happy to hear that. I usually like pay attention to flags I don't see too often. I know we've got Bosnian flags before, but your name, I didn't recognize it, Zoar. But if this is the second time, I just didn't pay attention. I'm sorry. 12 more points for Switzerland. Do I even have to commentate this anymore? It's just 12s for Switzerland galore. Heyo. I would understand it if you turned off the stream because there's no excitement anymore. But I'm happy if you stick around. 10 points to Yugoslavia there. puts itself up into 8th, and Slante gives 12 points to Denmark. And next up is Stratsdas, voter number 78 from Germany. France very close to the hundreds now. Italy and Portugal very close to it as well, has to be said. 10 points to Luxembourg, and the 12 goes to Sweden. As I said, Sweden's going to get some 12s. E from Ecuador, obviously a very returning figure in the voting sessions. Iceland, like there's a battle absolutely going on for which song of those to get to 100 first. Luxembourg gets to 12, so it's only 159 points behind now. Will Switzerland reach 1,000 as Ireland's 87? It absolutely will, the Sigma. I can promise you that it will. Might even reach 1,100, I think. 10 points to Netherlands here, and the 12 to Yugoslavia. Next up, who is next up? Leonard. Switzerland should break 1,100. I think so too, Darren. I think no, Luxembourg and those are not breaking on 1,000. It's going to take a lot for them to do it. Leonard gives 10 points to Israel and the 12 to Switzerland again. Yes, yes, yes. 160 points. Well, it's as exciting as the ESC 2023 jury vote. Yeah, but here we don't have a televote that can change everything. Yeah, I'm not reading that. 10 points to Turkey, and the 12 goes to United Kingdom. Austria for 100. Yeah, that's not happening. We'll see if Greece is going to catch up to 100. That's looking a bit gloom as well. I think the rest will. France broke into it now with that 4 points from Mimi. Portugal too, getting an 8 there. 10 to Norway, and the 12 goes to, well. Yeah. Jacob. Oh, Clown. Ha 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 ha. Oh, cheeky name there. Are you gonna vote for Clown as well? It's not gonna change its position anyhow, but oh yeah, the big 10 points. And the 12 to Turkey, moves ahead of the UK there. So it's currently not in 7th anymore. It's now in 6th. Eclectic Learner. And oh wow, both Italy and Iceland just shot into the hundreds there. So yeah, way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. 10 points to the UK, and the 12 goes to Luxembourg. I think my votes are coming up pretty soon, but not just quite yet. We have Lisa, Mona Lisa. That's my cover. Thank you for coming and listening. Greece gets another 10. Greece can actually overtake Germany. We got a 12 for Ireland. That's a lot of points on the right side of the scoreboard, which is quite interesting. Jordan from Greece, our next voter. Germany gets 1 point there to run away from Greece a little bit. 8 points to Switzerland, 10 to Israel, and the 12 to Iceland. There's a lot of just scattered around points here and there, which is kind of funny. Philippa from Portugal. France gets some points there to make some moves. And 8 points to Norway, 10 points to the UK, and the 12 goes to Denmark. Denmark very much on their own, but they could catch Norway for sure. Is it Pie Man, I guess? 4 points to Italy, moves it ahead of Portugal. We got an 8 for Yugoslavia, 10 for Sweden, who moves ahead of UK again, and the 12 to Luxembourg, who is now 160 points behind Switzerland, as Elendil is our voter number 90. Belgium moves ahead of France there. We have an 8 for Yugoslavia, 10 for Israel, and the 12 goes to Turkey, who moves ahead of the UK there. Back up to 6th. Swiss from America gives 6 points to Germany, who is now closing into the 100s. Portugal, Italy, France, Belgium, and Iceland, these are moving around all the time. They're so close to each other. 10 to Switzerland, 12 to Netherlands. Netherlands kind of running away with that 4th place now. Israel very much run away with the third, but Israel could actually challenge Luxembourg for second. It's not impossible. No Name from Estonia gives 8 points to Israel, a 10 to Yugoslavia, and the 12 goes to Switzerland again. 699 points now. As Tibor is up next from Germany. Some points for Portugal, which makes it move quite a lot of places. An 8 for Switzerland, 10 for Turkey, and the 12 goes to Belgium, who moves back ahead of Portugal. Next up is Moi, yours truly. And these were the songs that I voted for. So quite a lot of them on the left side of the scoreboard, so I approve of these results, I guess. A 10 to Netherlands, and you know where this 12 is landing. It's no surprise. Obviously, I would 12 Stadius. Turkey has actually moved up into 5th now, from being 7th for such a long time, you know? So things can change very drastically. Blue HN, okay. 8 points to Finland, a 10 to Belgium. These songs are starting to catch Spain and Ireland up there. 12 points to Turkey again. Turkey moving a bit clear of 6th and 7th. Herr Crazy, next up, gives 8 points to Finland, a 10 to Netherlands, and the 12 to Luxembourg. 170 points in it. Beba certified bop, okay, as you say. If you say so. We get 8 points for Iceland, who moves ahead of Portugal again. 10 points to Sweden, and the 12 goes to Yugoslavia. And next up is Polina from Israel. We're almost on 100 voters now. Austria got a point. Austria did get a point again. Sweden gets 8 of those. Luxembourg gets 10. Switzerland getting the 12. You bet it is. Next up, Grumpy Xer Cat. Voter number 99. Germany got 1 more point. It's getting closer to the 100 there. 8 points to Sweden, a 10 for Denmark, and the 12 goes to Belgium. Nothing for the top 2, nothing for Netherlands, nothing for UK, nothing for Yugoslavia. A bit scattered around there. Belgium closing in on Spain quite heavily there. Glus Mars or something. 8 points to Switzerland, 10 points to Israel, and the 12 goes to Sweden. Yeah, we should do that, Anton. Get your predictions on how many points Austria will finish on in the chat. I'll say 22. That's my prediction. Romance Linguist. 10 points to Sweden. And the 12 goes to Luxembourg. Actually, I take back 22 because there will be someone who just comes in at the end and like gives Austria 12 points just for the hell of it. So I'll say 31 points for Austria. 31. Mene is our next voter, who gives 8 points to Sweden, 10 to Netherlands, and the 12 goes to Ireland. Ooh, is that the first one for Ireland? Might be. Or maybe it got one early on. Alipan from the City in Lights. Toipa thinks they're going to get 100. I'm not so sure on that, Toipa. 8 points to Italy there, a 10 for Switzerland, and the 12 to Luxembourg. Who's next? Lakmai from Croatia. Some points there. No movement anywhere. 8 points to Luxembourg. 10 points to Switzerland. And the 12 to Norway. Norway very much on their own in 9th, it seems. And Denmark very much on their own in 10th. And Finland very much on their own in 11th. Like that little Scandinavian group there at the bottom of the left side. Speaking of Scandinavia and northern countries, Iceland moved ahead of Portugal there with a 2. 10 to United Kingdom from Mattel, and the 12 to Netherlands, which doesn't do much difference. Darren, 11-11 for Switzerland. Yeah, it might get that amount of points. 1,111. That would be cool. Embrace your inner... There's a lot of beba going on in the chat today, or in the voting. 10 points to Luxembourg, and the 12 goes to Switzerland. Yay. We do love a landslide, don't we? No clever name from Germany, indeed. Some points there. Portugal moves us back ahead of Iceland. Luxembourg gets 8. A 10 for Iceland. And the 12 to Germany, who cracks the 100 spot on with a 12. It's a great way to reach 100. Ver, or where, or something. Some points there. We have an 8 for Denmark, a 10 for Luxembourg, and the 12 to Israel. Nothing for Switzerland there. Not that it matters. Goop is next up. Is that the Isle of Man flag? I think it is. Some points coming in here. We got an 8 for Turkey. We got a 10 for United Kingdom to put Turkey back down into 7th again, and the 12 to Yugoslavia. Who's next? Just another penguin. And these are the 5 points. A lot of points in that middle gap that's just switching all the time there, with France, Italy, Portugal, Iceland, and Spain, and Belgium's in that as well. 10 points to Norway, and the 12 goes to Belgium, who's pulling away from that gap then a little bit, in 13th at the moment, as GT comes up next. And a lot of points on the left side of the scoreboard there. We have 8 points for Iceland to move it ahead of Spain there, a 10 for Denmark, and the 12 goes to Turkey. Turkey still, though, behind UK and Sweden in 7th, as Elte from France votes next. No movement anywhere. 8 points to Luxembourg, a 10 to Netherlands, and the 12 goes to United Kingdom, who is only 6 points behind Sweden now. And next up is Antipodian ESC fan. To give some points here, no movement this time either. 8 points to Germany, 10 to Belgium, and the 12 goes to Luxembourg. Kind of surprised Portugal isn't at least top 15. I mean, it's 16th, so I mean, well, Hue from the UAE is our next voter. Ireland very close to the 200 here. Sweden moves back ahead of the UK there for a brief moment, and the 12 goes to Netherlands. Nothing for Switzerland now either. Switzerland's starting to get some zeros, but it's too little too late, I'd say. As Disco Daz from the UK is our voter number 115. Greece, will they reach 100? Probably, but they need to start getting some more points. 10 to Switzerland there, and the 12 to Israel. Next up, from the Windy Isles. Some points for France, Italy, Portugal, that whole group. 8 points to Switzerland, a 10 to the United Kingdom, and the 12 goes to Luxembourg. Next up, Felipe. We do have a fair amount of Portuguese people voting in every session. I think it's really funny how I actually have like a pretty large group of subscribers on my channel are from Portugal, which I think is kind of neat. The 12 points here goes to Switzerland again. Jere is our next voter from Germany. No movement anywhere. 8 points to Israel, a 10 for Switzerland, and the 12 goes to Denmark. Is Austria the lowest or just the lowest 0-pointer in real life? What do you mean? I don't get it. Il faut bien y croire. Okay, 12 points to Luxembourg maybe. 10 points to UK. Indeed, 12 points to Luxembourg. It is pronounced Antipodian. Antipodian. Okay, fine. Thank you for teaching me the language that I teach at school. Jason Ranford, 8 points to Finland. who is 100 points behind top 10, I just realized. 10 points to Sweden, and the 12 goes to Iceland. Iceland's getting like cheeky points here and there. People do like the Socrates. As Carla, yet another voter from Portugal, gives 1 point to Portugal and no movement anywhere. 8 points to Switzerland, 10 points to Israel, and the 12 goes to Norway, who's only 3 points behind Yugoslavia. Antipodian means someone who lives in the southern hemisphere. Yeah, not very useful for anyone in Sweden to know. Mio Padre from Austria gives 8 points to the Netherlands. A 10 for Ireland. That's pretty big. Not making any moves though. And the 12th to Belgium. Groot, you can be sure this will not be the last 12 for Denmark. Something big to come soon. Huh? I mean, Denmark are very much on their own. I don't really know why that would make a difference. But okay. Do you know something I don't, I guess? 12 points to Switzerland. We only have 25 voters left. I'm not gonna apologize for the anticlimax because all of you are the ones who voted for this, but it's always a bit of a shame when we don't have an exciting voting, of course. Mimikat's Festive Contraste from Macau gives 12 points to the United Kingdom, who is very close to the Netherlands now for 4th, actually. It's done a little bit of a late surge, as Malte from Sweden may end up giving 12 points to Sweden if he wants to be predictable. 8 points to Norway, 10 points to Luxembourg, and the 12 goes to Stadius. Sorry, I should never do that again. Edmundo's Festa. Next up. Germany's catching France, I just realized. Germany's gotten a lot of points since it reached 100. 10 points to the UK, and the 12 goes to Luxembourg. Oh, wait. Okay. Jason votes running order indeed. We're on voter number 127. You'll just have to bear with me for 1 minute. Maybe more. Jason. Was his name just Jason, or was it Jason Ranford? Okay, let's see. Jason Ranford. Delete. I think we got a bunch of new voters now. I don't know. Okay. Hey ho, it is what it is. Wait, 127, I think, right? Switzerland was on... How many points were they on? Wait, are Switzerland actually gonna reach 1,000? I'm not sure. Like, we don't have that many voters left, and they were only on 800 something. Who are we on now? Disco Daz, yeah, you had voted a while ago. Malte voted not too long ago. How many more after Malte? I don't really remember. 127. Then we should be on 126 then, I guess. Edmundo's Festa. Yeah, we were on Togravus Ceterum. I recognize this name. Alright. We're back. These are the points. Greece gets 2 points to make some progress onto the 100, which we are not sure if it's actually going to reach. 10 points to Norway, and the 12 goes to Israel. Israel is only 250 points behind Switzerland, so mathematically it could win still. There are only 3 songs that can still win mathematically. Jörn from Bosnia gives only 1 point to Switzerland. It's written in 5 to Austria. Whew! It's up on 20 now. Here we go. That's massive. Jörn, out of 148 voters, you've given 25% of Austria's points. You're responsible for those. 12 points to Portugal there, making massive moves with that 12. France is very much in the danger zone of losing 18th place to Germany, as Bruno comes next. with 7 points to Greece. Greece could do it, you know. We get 8 points to the Netherlands, who's now up into 4th again. 10 for Iceland. Iceland's just, you know, racking up some points here and there. And the 12 goes to Switzerland, who is now on 903. Emil S. Next up, voter number 129. And yeah, I'm telling you, Germany's gonna pass France. Germany's getting points from everyone now, out of just nowhere. Sweden gets 8. The 10 for Israel. In the 12 goes to Turkey. Turkey looks like it's gonna finish in 7th place, though. It needs to really catch up on Sweden now to make any difference about that. Do not. Okay, I see that you've written it phonetically there, so I can't pronounce it, but I'm not gonna do it anyway because I'm terrible at reading phonetics. So, hey ho. A person from Canada, regardless, is voting and gives Italy 8 points to move it ahead of Spain. Germany, there you go. What happened with Germany? Why is everyone voting Germany now at the end? What happened there? 12 points to Luxembourg. Like, Germany got no points for like 100 first voters, and now it's just gotten like half of its points after that. Madeira Island is our next voter. And Spain moves maybe back ahead of Italy here. Yep. Iceland moves out of Portugal again. 8 points to the UK. The UK and the Netherlands are so close to each other. Switzerland gets 10, and the 12 goes to Portugal to move back ahead of Iceland. And the next voter is Dr. Ross, who has 15 voters after him to go. Greece very close to the hundreds now. Germany keeps just getting points. 8 points to Denmark, not making any difference whatsoever for Denmark, unfortunately. 10 points to Switzerland, not really making much impact either. And the 12 goes to the UK, who's back up into 4th. Germany's a nice song. Yeah, I don't mind Germany. But I mean, well, I'll just be personal. I really liked France, so I'm a bit bummed out that France is actually 3rd to last. But can't always get what we want, you know. Quare ancora la blah 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 blah. Yes, 10 points to Switzerland and 12 points to Luxembourg, right? Yes, yes. Germany pausing Italy and Spain would be beautiful, would it? I guess. I mean, I don't mind either. I think all of them are fine. Spain's probably my least favorite out of those, personally. Oral Bliss from Germany gives 8 points to Germany. You got your wish, Kevin. 10 points to the UK. And then the 12 goes to Luxembourg, who is now... Wait. Luxembourg has 136 points to catch up, and we still have 14 voters to go. I'm just saying it's possible. And he only gave Switzerland 5 points. It's possible. But it needs to start getting the 12s. 8 points to Israel. 10 points to Luxembourg. Okay. Took in 5 points there. Sweden gets the 12. Yeah, Sweden's pulling a gap from Turkey now, so I think MFO will finish 7th again. I gotta be honest with all of you. James from Andorra is voter number 136. And Spain moves back ahead of Germany. Sorry, Kevin, but yep, that happened. We have an 8 for Netherlands, 10 for UK. Could UK catch Israel? They could, for 3rd. And the 12 goes to Switzerland. Well, it's over. Ladies and gentlemen, pack your bags, we're going home. I'll actually bump up the speed for the last few voters here. Zuna from Finland gives out... Is this even going faster? Gives out these points. Some on the right side of the scoreboard. Some sympathy votes at this point. 8 points to Israel. 10 points to Switzerland. and the 12 to Netherlands. Nothing for the UK there. UK might actually lose its 4th place instead of catching up on 3rd. X from Bhutan. Some points there. No movement. Nope. 8 points to Italy. That's some movement. Italy moves ahead of Iceland. A 10 for Luxembourg. And the 12 to Israel. I think Israel kind of cemented itself in 3rd place there. I mean, mathematically, it's possible for them to lose it, but I think they got it. And this is just aligned with my prediction prior to the voting started. How could I ever know, huh? Reingan from the Netherlands puts Iceland back ahead of Italy there. France gets 8 points. I'm happy to see that, but it's probably only me. Still very much at the bottom. And the 12 goes to Italy. A lot of points on the right side there, Reingan. You disagree heavily with the current results, I see. Samoan Jury, 1988. Well, wonderful to have you here. Switzerland still is not up on 1,000, but I mean, we still have 8 voters left to go after this, so it has to get there, you know. 8 points to the UK, 10 points to Germany, who moves ahead of Spain again, and the 12 goes to Luxembourg. Alright, 8 voters to go. I think, however, that Switzerland is not, like, percentage-wise, it's not gonna beat Hold Me Now, for instance. We'll see how many winners it's gonna beat, because we have so many voters in this one. Percentage-wise, Switzerland has not got that much for being a winner. Still, it's gotten a bunch of points, but you know what I mean. Connor gives 10 points to Luxembourg and the 12 to Sweden. I think Turkey's ship has sailed. They should actually, maybe they should keep an eye out behind them. Norway could, a few 12s to Norway, and Turkey could lose their 7th place. Not that I think it will happen. Norway got 1 point there. So, yeah, stop with the French title. I know you just name yourself French things because you want me to say them and you want me to make a fool out of myself. I'm not falling for it. Not today. Italy's making massive progress now at the end here. They're actually catching Ireland, and Finland is not safe on the left side. I'm telling you, this can change at the very end here. That's what we're keeping the interest is kept going from who's gonna finish 11th now. Basically, Finland got 1 point. Denmark broke into the 400s. Denmark could catch Yugoslavia, you know. 8 points to Israel, 10 points to Luxembourg, and the 12 to. Oh no way! Switzerland. 1,016 points now. Yeah, Celine joins the 1,000 club. She has indeed done that. Cosmic Summers from the UK. Some smaller points for Celine there. Oh, Greece is on 99. Greece is on 99. Ha 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 ha. 10 points to Portugal. Massive moves for Portugal there. And the 12 goes to United Kingdom. I think United Kingdom's got this 4th place, you know. It started off really poorly for UK, but they brought it back. Zachary Herbert Wallace from Scotland. 4 voters left to go. First points there. Greece into the 100s. Greece is in the 100s. Ha 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 ha. Ireland puts an 8 there to distance itself a little bit. Luxembourg gets the 10, and the 12 goes to Switzerland again. 1,031. Morning from Australia. Finally caught one of these live. Couldn't join the watch along as it started 4 a.m. Yeah, you joined right at the end. It's not an exciting session, this one. But happy to have you here anyway, Ellen. Hope you're all good, and good morning to you. Angel Ruiz gives 8 points to Iceland, who's now into the 200s. 10 points to Luxembourg, who's in the 900s now. And the 12 to... Surprise, surprise! Alright, let's just take a quick look. What can change here? No, 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 no. Like, all of these positions are set now, because there's only 24 points left to give out. We have the battle for 11th. That's what we're gonna keep our eye on. Austria can at max get 44 points now, which is sad for them. Some points at the bottom here. Italy moves out of Belgium. France got 2, which doesn't make any difference. Germany gets 8. 10 for the UK. And the 12 goes to Luxembourg, 919. Every country with over 100 points, and then Austria on 20. Yeah. Sucks to be Austria this time. France vote is our final voter. Oh, Austria gets one more point, so it's on 21. It's gonna end on 21. Ireland makes a late move up into the top half. Is Ireland gonna get 11th? It moved ahead of Finland. Finland takes it back. Oh, it's great. Finland takes it back, and the 12 goes to Portugal, who takes over from Ireland again. Massive moves for the fight for 11th on the final vote there. Portugal and Ireland, of course, on a tie for 12th, though. But since it's ordered like this, I don't know how. I don't know if they have like the tiebreaker implemented into this program, so that Portugal has gotten more 12s, and that's why it's ahead. I don't know how it works, but these are the final standings. Austria finishes in last with 21 points. Greece in 20th on 102 points. France, unfortunately, in my case, I think that's very low, but it's all of you who voted. 19th place for France, 167, quite far behind Spain in 18th on 195. Then we have Iceland in 17th on 208, Germany in 16th on 216, Belgium in 15th, 225, only 2 points behind Italy in 14th, and then a tie for 12th between Portugal and Ireland on 244, and Finland grabbed the 11th place with 253. And then, the top 10 basically. Massive gap up. Denmark 10th, 409 points. Yugoslavia in 9th on 442. Norway in 8th on 494. And Turkey again in 7th on 530. Sweden got 6th on 593. And Netherlands got into the top 5 with 630. The UK ended up in 4th at the end, 673 points. Just jumble those numbers around a little bit, and you got Israel on 736 in 3rd. Luxembourg was 2nd on 919, and the landslide was complete by Switzerland at the top, 1,056 points. Absolutely huge. We can see the whole voting sheet here. Obviously Austria didn't get any 12s, but you can see the amount of 12s that Switzerland got. At times, like there in the middle of the voting, it seemed like Switzerland was getting 12s every time. Like this period, this is where the voting was won, basically. Luxembourg got a fair amount of 12s, but stood no chance, really. Let me know. Are we happy, sad about those results? Let me know. Did you enjoy watching 1988 with me and with everyone else in the chat? I think I've had fun. I'm always really tired once we're done, and even like before we start, I just know it's going to be a long session, but it's a lot of fun as well. Hope you've enjoyed it, and hope that you will join me for the watch along for 1989. I'm not sure yet when we're going to do that session. I might need a little bit of a breather after this one because it takes some energy, and it's been a long week at work, of course. But thank you so much for joining me this time. I'm going to be updating the wiki when I feel like it with all of the results. But actually, like before we go, let's actually just calculate how many percentage of points both Austria and Switzerland got, as those are the first and last song. So the total points you can get in this one is 8,584. Let's see. 8,584. 8584. I can actually show you. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Percentage calculator. The voting 1,056 is 12.30 percentage of the points. Let's just see where that will rank it next to all of the others. Give me a second. There we go. We have the wiki up here. Let's see. How many did we say that it had? Someone already put it in. Okay. Okay. Well, then we know. Did you put in all of the 88 songs? No, only Switzerland. Okay. Okay. Then I didn't need to check that. But we can also check 21 points. 0.24%. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Austria, but wow, Austria is landsliding the low percentage score. I feel sorry for them, but ah, still, they got a few points. They got 21 of them, so yeah. Did Austria get 0.003? That would have been funny, but no, got a little bit more than that. All right, that was that for tonight. I hope you've had fun because I have had that, and I hope that you will enjoy me. That you will join me for the 1989 watch along as well. Of course, we're gonna end this stream with listening to our winner. Napat. The fact that I have to write the title of this when I search for it on Spotify. There we go. Okay, I'll be leaving you with some Celine Dion because that's who won tonight, and I hope that you will join me for 1989 watch along that I will announce whenever I feel like now's the time. So yeah, thank you for joining me tonight. Hope you've had fun, and I hope to see you soon again. Bye bye.